Welcome back everyone to today's video, and we're going to be looking at the weather for the next couple of weeks to see if we are going to end up with colder weather returning in February. Now, it is looking uncertain at the moment, but one day the models could say there's nothing there, the next day we could have some really cold weather on the card. So it's not certain if anything will happen, but just beware that anything could happen. Okay, so we're going to get straight into this. So the current situation over the country, we have got the low pressure out in the Atlantic, and we're dragging in some very strong southwesterly winds, and that was earlier on, and now we are it's very strong, very strong winds wrapping around it. It's going to get quite severe over the next couple of hours for a lot of the UK. So we're not really focusing on that, really. We're focusing on what happened next week, because it looks like we could start to get high pressure up towards Scandinavia. So here we go. So as we go into around Friday the 26th, look at this. It looks like high pressure starting to try and get going over Scandinavia. And what this could do, if we do get this high pressure, push that up, this area of low pressure here, and cold air could push towards us and open the door. That is how the beast from the east happened, in a very similar pattern how the beast from the east happened. So just and with this current SSW just taking place, it's even more likely that this does happen. So once again, we try and get that high pressure towards Scandinavia, but it's just struggling. This is a GFS 6Z. Well, then by the end, we get the high pressure up towards Greenland. Look at that. We get the high pressure up towards Greenland and drop low pressure south over Europe. Low pressure sitting to the east, and we're dragging the wind in from a very cold northerly direction. And if you look at the upper air temperatures with that, as you can see, they are very cold. As you can see, that cold air over Europe ready to be unleashed by that point. Okay, this is the latest GFS run, but it does not go all the way to the 384 hours yet, so we won't be able to see if we actually do get that cold spell later on. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so once again, we have that low pressure pushing through, that storm gets out of the way, and then look, we start getting high pressure up towards Greenland, up towards Scandinavia again, around Norway, Finland, Sweden. And it could look like we're about to introduce some very cold air, but this low pressure in the Atlantic is really ramping up, and it does end up defeating it and pushing it away, but it keeps trying. And there is signs up towards the end of the GFS 12Z, what is not fully updated yet, that it's about to get north, and we could introduce some colder air from the east. That's a possibility there. It does look like that's where it is going. So, but the low pressure is very strong once again in the Atlantic. So if that came off, we're not sure, as that low pressure would always be putting pressure on the high pressure trying to build to the north. Okay, this is the latest GEM run. Let's see what the GEM does this week. So once again, we get that low pressure pushing through, and once again the high pressure tries to get toward Greenland, but it doesn't really do much, but it is there. By the end there is signs it's trying to get up towards Greenland again, but not much from that run either. Okay, so this is the ECMWF. Let's have a look what this run does. So once again that storm passing through, and there it is. Look at that block in there. Look at that. That definitely looks quite promising. We just need to get this area of high pressure here up there, and it would look like it would end up going cold. But we're just on the edge. We're just not getting it. And as you can see, the Atlantic just about fends it off and just keeps us mild. Let's have a look at the UK Met Office run now. Okay, first we'll have a look at the UK Met, and then we'll have a look at the UK Met EU. So once again, this is what we look like at 76 hours. We're going to get that low pressure in the Atlantic, driving them westerly winds in. Once again, as we go forward to 96 hours, once again, there's that sign. Maybe that this cold pool here is pushing south, and maybe this high pressure is pushing north, and it could end up going cold. Let's have a look what it does by 120 hours. Once again, that blocking signal is there, and by the end of the UK Met, once again, we're trying to get Scandinavian high, but we're just not getting this high pressure here far enough north. We just need it a little bit further north, and we probably would go very cold. Okay, UK Met EU. Okay, UK Met EU looks like this. So once again, as we go through, it's looking start like this. So high pressure, once again, it looks like it's trying to get north. And once again, we've got that, that is the current situation with that low pressure pushing in from the Atlantic. So as we continue, we take that high pressure, just collapses, but then we start to take that high pressure north. As you can see, does it come off to anything? A lot of blocking, but by the end we're just, once again, as you can see, it looks like this high pressure is trying to go north, but it's just not getting there. If this high pressure here was to be like here, then that would block the Atlantic off, and we would get this cold pool building up here from cold air pushing down here, and then it could possibly push in. That's how we ended up with the beast from the east, but we're just not doing that at the moment. We're not quite getting it. There's signs, but we're just not getting that high pressure as far north as it needs to be, to say the least. Okay, this is the latest run from RPED. It doesn't go as far out as the other ones, but still have a look if it is picking up that blocking. So once again, it looks like we're going to try get blocking up towards Scandinavia just there. And that does look quite good for blocking, as you can see this area of high pressure just here. But we've got to get this area up there, and maybe we could actually start going cold. We're just not getting that high pressure as far north as we need to get it. We are close, but we're just not getting it as far north as we need to at the moment. This is the latest run from the NAVGM. So let's have a look what this looks like. Once again, that low pressure pushing through. High pressure, yeah, it does get enough, and that looks good. You see, this is what we're looking for. By the end, on the 28th of January, we're getting this high pressure. Where the other runs it was here, we're getting it up there. That's where it needs to be. Because if we do get it sustained up there and push this, we get this up there as well, that would leave this low pressure starting to push westwards, and we could go cold from that. But we're on the edge, but there is signs that there is definitely signs that something is going on. In the stratosphere and troposphere. It looks like we're gonna try and get some blocking going, but it's not certain at the moment. Okay, so this is what the GFS ensembles look like. So once again, we just start off above average, as you can see, and we're dropping below just there. But it's very up and down, as it is a westerly flow. The air masses will vary. And then we look like we're going a bit milder or around average, but then there is them just there going quite cold, as you can see from the GFS, and that it's not overly wet as well. It could mean that there is a colder signal on the cards. Okay, thanks everyone for tuning in to today's 10 to 14 day forecast. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.